Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. The G20 Summit kicks off in Delhi today, that is Saturday, 9th September 2023. The event will be there for 2 days, that's today and tomorrow. Let's talk about this event. Let's get right into the show. Okay, now firstly, let me tell you some facts about this particular summit, and then we will talk. I have certain questions which we'll ask. Okay, now 30 heads of state are attending this particular summit. The countries include countries like Nigeria, Argentina, Italy, African Union, South Africa, Bangladesh, United Kingdom, Japan, Saudi Arabia, Republic of Korea, Egypt, Australia, United States, Canada, China, etc., etc., etc. Now, the core agenda, the core objective of this particular or the core proposition of this particular summit is One Earth. Okay, and the session is dedicated to expanding climate actions by enhancing mitigation efforts and reinforcing global commitment to achieving net zero emission at the earliest possible juncture. This is the agenda of this particular meeting. Now, let us also understand that while this meeting happens, there are always meetings that happens privately between two countries. Bilateral meetings also do take place while the major issue remains as One Earth. The major proposition under the guises of One Earth, under the umbrella of One Earth, there are a lot of private meetings also, bilateral meeting also that happens. Okay, so all this is fine. The question is, it is good that we are having this particular meeting, but one wonders that why are we having this meeting the way we are having it? For instance, it is said that the country is spending 4,100 crores to have this particular meeting in Delhi. 4,100 crores for a 2-day event. Now, what a lot of people will say, bhaiya barabar hai. India ka izzat hai. It is our prestige. We have to show to the world that we are big. So, 4,100 crores, theek hai. What of it? Acha, that's right. But the fact remains that in the same breath, I would also like to say that, listen, apna wo jo Manrega wages hai na, Manrega wages, something like 6,600 crores has not yet been paid. So chances are, while we are having this beautiful session, this lovely meeting, this great event, chances are a lot of people in rural India especially must be going hungry to bed tonight. Hungry to bed tonight. They too are Indians. G20 Summit, India President, they too are Indians. They too are supposed to be part of India. They too share the presidentship of G20. Just that we should keep that in mind is all I'm saying. You see, Germany, for instance, in 2017, they hosted G20 Summit and they had spent 641 crores. We are spending 4,100 crores. Argentina, in 2018, had spent 931 crores. We are spending 4,100 crores. But let's be fair. Let's be fair. Turkey in 2015 had spent 4,156 crores. Australia in 2014 had spent 2,122 crores. Russia had spent 515 crores. France had spent 712 crores. But Canada in 2010 had spent 4,351 crores. It is not that only we have spent. I mean, I'm saying 2,400, 2,500 and all if you convert into Indian rupees. So I'm giving you that figure. To that extent, yeah, we are not the only people who have spent this kind of money. Lot of other people have spent this kind of money. But the point is this our priority? You see, we were intelligent, brilliant when we created our Chandrayaan at the price we created it. When others were spending thousands and thousands of crores, 1,700 crores, 1,200 crores, 1,700 crores, what China spent, when we spend 650 odd crores for our Chandrayaan, we were intelligent because why? We knew we had to do it economically. We wanted to reach the moon and we also wanted to do that economically. We knew that. So we did what we did. Fantastic. But somewhere down the line, when it comes to our Parliament House, when it comes to the jets that our leaders fly in, when it comes to, showing off, we kind of lose that sense of economy. We spend a lot of money. ठीक है, 4,100 crores. ठीक है, let's keep that aside. अब issue ऐसा होता है कि when you see international media saying things like this, just hear this out.
Here, this summit in Delhi, the whole event threatens to be overshadowed actually by Prime Minister Modi and by India. And we talked about how he's been attracting a lot of criticism from the opposition and generally critics, saying that he's using this event as almost a way to start campaigning early for elections here in India, which are likely to be held in about 8 or 9 months or so. And he's pulled out all the stops. He's made a real spectacle of the G20. We talked about how on the streets of Delhi, every few meters or so, there are posters all over the place, hundreds if not thousands of them, advertising the G20 with Modi's face on them. And in terms of making a spectacle of it,
when international media says that ye kya hai? Every poster has Mr. Modi's photograph. One also wonders why. India is the president. Modi is not the president of G20 Summit. The country is. And by the way, it is not that we have done some great achievement. It goes by rotation. Next president is after 20 years. So after 20 years, we will get our presidentship. It goes by rotation. So ऐसा कुछ rocket science नहीं है. It's not something that we did, massively achieved and all that we are celebrating it. We will get it after 20 years. Whoever the prime minister is. So why are we? Why is that in every poster there is Modi's photograph? Number one. Number two, why so much of branding for G20 Summit? Who wants to see G20 Summit? Or are we trying to promote G20 Summit? You see, I'll tell you what I mean by that. See, it's like this. When you're launching a product and when you want to make commercial benefit out of that product, okay, which means you're launching a cola, for instance. So you keep a separate budget for advertising it. So what you try and do is you try and work on a concept called OTS. OTS means opportunity to see. So what is the idea? The idea is that as a consumer, you should see my product. Okay, Sujit Cola, for instance. It doesn't even sound good, but all the same. Sujit Cola, for instance. Okay, if I want to promote Sujit Cola, then I will spend money, huge money, to ensure that every consumer of mine, wherever that consumer goes. So if my consumer goes in the mall, I will ensure I'll put a poster in the mall that consumer sees it. If the consumer goes to the school, then I'll put the poster there so the consumer sees it. If the consumer goes to gets into a bus, then I will ensure that there is a poster in the bus, so on and so forth. So I'll follow the consumer and ensure that wherever you go, you see me. Because I want to sell that product to you and I want to earn money from you. ठीक है ना? Very clear. What are we trying to achieve out of marketing G20 Summit in India? Does it help India? No, because I'll tell you why. See, when you are marketing something, it has to help. See, when you are spending taxpayers' money to create posters, banners, branding and all, the taxpayer should get benefit out of it. Which means, if my money is being spent to market G20 Summit and G20 Summit gets me 10,000 crores for India, ठीक है, I will say done. कितना खर्चा हुआ 4,000 करोड़, कितना मिला 10,000 करोड़. Is it good? Not really, but ठीक है, चलो, at least loss तो नहीं हुआ ना. Does that happen? Does that happen? And if it doesn't happen, then who gives the permission to people to just spend money? Logic? ठीक है. So you heard what that foreigner said, that foreign anchor said. So ठीक है, we'll keep that also aside. Now I want to spend some time on the logo. You know why? Logo is very interesting. Like I said, that old advertising habit doesn't die. So this logo excites me a lot. So let's look at logo. Let's look at logos of other countries who have done this summit before, who have chaired the summit, who have hosted the summit before. For instance, let's see Indonesia's logo. These are some of the logos that the country previous to us have put for that particular summit, given that particular summit. Most of these logos do not have anything to do with any political party for sure. But look at our logo. I don't know whether it is coincidence or it is deliberate. I don't know. That Kamal also happens to be BJP's logo, isn't it? So now, now we have the G20 Summit in India, which is not really anybody's gain, anybody's achievement, because G20 Summit is rotational and it will come to India. It came to India, so it happened. You take 4,100 crores of money from the taxpayers' hard-earned money. You take 4,100 crores, create humongous branding, and two things are highlighted. Kamal, which is very similar to the Bharatiya Janata Party logo, and the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi's face. Kamal and Narendra Modi's face. So now, the question back. Who exactly is benefiting out of G20 Summit? Because like I had I had made a tweet yesterday. Tweet is what it's called, right? Or we call it X. I don't know, whatever. I did that yesterday, that thing that you do in your phone. Where I'd asked, is there any direct correlation between G20 Summit and, eradication of poverty or reducing poverty, reducing malnutrition, reducing hunger index? Is there any kind of relation? Okay, bhai, we did G20 Summit. So because of G20 Summit, our problems were not taken care of, not gone away, but at least it got reduced. Is there anything of that sort? If not, we still should have it. I am not disputing it. Of course, India, our image has to be maintained. We still should have it. But spending this kind of a money, I don't know what it exactly means. Last but not the least, take it now. You see, I find this very strange in our country because, one talks about North Korea. One talks about North Korea, when North Korea creates facade. They create empty buildings or empty building frontage to hide their poverty, to hide what is behind. Okay, so that when a tourist comes, and the tourist is guided, so that when the tourist comes, the tourist is taken through those villages, those places where, in the front of it, you see it's all building and behind there's nothing. There's nobody staying. It's poverty, absolute, abject poverty. You see, why are we hiding our poverty? Why are we hiding our poverty? Covering our people, maybe who are not rich, who doesn't stay in a good house, who cannot afford a good house. Other than saying that, let me take this 4,100 crores and ensure that I give them good house, at least under this pretext, so that tomorrow I can say, G20 ke karan, baba, inko ghar mil gaya. At least I can say that. Other than doing that, what we normally do is we cover everything that is not good. We cover that. So that's another thing that I wanted to ask. My point again is, if you could take that money, take that 4,100 crores, little of it, and clean it under the pretext of G20. At least, we could have, like I said, we could have said that G20 ke karan at least ye to hua. So these are the points that I wanted to make. Think about it. A light editorial today for a Saturday, and like I said, think about it. Comment on what I said. If you agree to me, if you don't agree to me, then do comment so that I know what you have in mind and what your point of view is. Because see, end of the day, I try and read all the comments, so I definitely will know what's in your mind, and if need be, I correct myself in future editorial, or I will, if possible, try and answer your questions in future editorials as we go. So this is where it is. This is what I wanted to tell you. Till I see you next time, that is Monday at 10 p.m. And by the way, tomorrow, don't miss my opinion at 9. So that too. But I'll catch you Monday 10 p.m. for another editorial. Namaskar.